I'm Jill from June Taylor with another innovative solution. Did you ever want to join your quilt blocks that are made Quilt As You Go? Now we have a perfect way to do that with our Sash and a Dash. It's pre-sewn sashing. It's sold by the yard in 7 colors with matching binding. Open the casing and nest your quilt block inside the casing. And then we're just going to run a top stitch down the edge. Take your next block, open the casing, and just do the same thing. To join rows, we're going to do the same thing, only we're going to run our Sash and a Dash across the row. You can run a beautiful embroidery stitch down here to embellish Sash and a Dash, or you can even put a strip of fabric down here. Here's an example where we added a fabric strip by folding under raw edges and top stitching over Sash and a Dash. And if you like to make t-shirt quilts, go ahead and quilt your blocks and then join them with Sash and a Dash.
Get ready to reel in a school of creative projects using the Go Flying Fish 9-inch finished block and board or bob die. This innovative die is designed to cut an entire 3-color block in just one pass through your cutter, helping you catch fresh new project ideas for this traditional block with ease. This die is on a 6x24 die board, making it compatible with any Go cutter, including the Go Me. Screen printed letters on the die board and specialized dog ears help make this block perfect for quilters of any skill level. Whether used alone or teamed up with a Go Cube or other bob dies, the Go Flying Fish die will help you construct stunning wall hangings, pillows, and throw quilts. Change the whole look of the block by setting it on point using the Go Setting Triangles 9-inch finish die. You'll soon see color is the key to devising a wide variety of designs from traditional to modern. While this block may look complex, the die will open up a sea of creative possibilities for anyone who can sew a 1/4-inch seam. Because at AccuQuilt, we want to help you cut time so you can quilt more. Quilters, in today's show, Chris and I are going to show you how to make these super cute Go oven mitts. Hey Quilters, welcome to AccuQuilt Live. Look who's here. Chris is here, he's so famous. I'm so excited he's here. Okay, before we talk about Chris, I'm Hem Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert. Thanks for joining us today. Now, Chris and I, we have a public service announcement. The new Go towel topper die, which we launched last week, and we showed you last week on Wednesday, and the Go mini oven mitt. We love these, do we not?
Yes, love them.
We are having so much fun in the studio with them. They are available for pre-order on the website. If you go to the website, put in the search engine, mini oven mitt, there is a pre-order button. We have limited quantities and orders are gonna be first in, first out kind of thing. The orders will ship in probably the beginning of August. So they're not in yet, but you can always pre-order them, okay? If you have any questions, don't ask me. I don't know. Ask our customer service team. We have a 1-800 number, or 188, right? 258-7913. That is our toll-free number. Hey, tell all our customer service team what a great job they're doing. We love them. Okay. Chris is here. Look at you in flesh. I'm so used to seeing him in the little box on the corner. How are you?
I've broken out of my box.
Yes, he's left his box. He's come here to Omaha. Oh, I forgot to ask you yesterday. Have you ever been to Nebraska?
I have not. This is my first time.
So I picked him up at the airport, and the airport is actually in Iowa.
Which I did not know until you told me that.
So look, 2 states off your bucket list.
There we go.
Have you been to Missouri?
No, not yet.
Listen, I'm leaving, but the lovely Erica should drive you an hour and 12 minutes to the Missouri border and take your picture. And then 3 states in one trip. I'm just saying.
There we go.
All right, so Chris is here for an actual reason besides hanging out with me. Why are you here?
I am here filming some content, helping out brand new quilters using their AccuQuilt.
And we are super excited about Chris doing that. It's a series, right?
Yes.
It's not just one, it's a series. And you're actually gonna cut the fabric and you're gonna show them how to sew it together and sew it to rows and quilt it.
We're gonna do all of it. So by the time the series ends, you will have a finished quilt.
With a binding.
Yep.
Only because Chris is teaching it. If I were teaching it, it would stop before that. And we're super excited. So it's like a 6 or 7 mini-series?
It'll be a 6-part mini-series available online soon.
Soon. So check it out. So if you're new to quilting, or if you have somebody you know that's gonna start quilting, Chris is gonna be a great teacher. Okay, everyone is watching. Okay, people, it is hot and humid apparently in the world because poor Marla says it's cloudy, sticky, and humid in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and there are mosquitoes. We're sorry, Marla. I know. And somebody else was saying somebody from Idaho was saying it was on fire. You know, it's smoky and humid. I'm headed there this weekend, like today. I'm going to leave. So I will stay away from the fires.
Yes.
But thanks for joining us. All right, let's showcase the new projects from our intro video. What do we have? All right, Chris, what do you think this is?
Isn't that the quilt along you just did?
Yes, the Go Simply Cubed.
Yes.
And I like this one because it has like 4th of July colors.
Yes.
I like that. Good job, Jeanette. What's next? Oh, and Paula D also did our Go Cube. Look at how, okay, isn't that amazing, the color and the difference that it makes?
The purple and the turquoise. Oh, yes. Very different than the last quilt, even though it was the same pattern.
Right, right. And last up, what do we have? We have Shelly M. And I think Shelly just used her cube, but you've made a good point about the flowers.
Yes, this is a great pattern to showcase like large print fabrics, so you don't have to cut them up super tiny.
Yeah, that's great. All right, be sure and post all of your finished projects on all of our social media platforms using hashtag AccuQuiltBuilt, and we'll add you to our little intro video. Kind of fun. All right, before we get started, did you see yesterday's show? You did not, you were on a plane.
I was on an airplane, yep.
Well, I saw you was here and did yesterday's show. We have finally launched the Go Big Die Catcher.
Yay.
And it's available to order on the AccuQuilt website. We have limited quantities, so be sure and order yours today before the first batch is gone, okay? And speaking of batches, It's a nice little segue. Here's the photo of the day. These are molasses crinkles cookies.
Yum.
I know, because I got my Santa hat on, so it's like Christmas in July. So the question of the day is, what is your favorite holiday cookie? And you were trying to think of one when we were doing rehearsal.
And I thought of one.
Okay.
So an old coworker forever ago used to do Oreos and then dip them in white chocolate so they were fully covered. And I would just eat those all day.
Were they like Oreo balls? Did she scrunch them up and put them with cream cheese and
No,
then
it was
dip them?
just the regular Oreo cookie covered in chocolate.
I love that.
So good.
I love that. Here in the Dream Studio, there were some favorites of sugar cookies. And what did you like, Jill? Molasses crinkles. Greg, do you have a favorite Christmas cookie?
Frosted sugar cookies.
Frosted sugar cookies. That was the #1. So, Chris is here. He has his laptop. So in the comment section, tell us what's your favorite holiday cookie, and if you have questions,
Yes.
we're going to answer them today. All right, today we're going to give away one of our Go Mini Oven Mitt dies. Be sure to register for future events on the AccuQuilt event page for your chance to win. Chris is in the house. He's going to announce the winner of a registered viewer at the end of our show. All right, shall we get to it?
Yes.
Okay, so let's show everybody, first of all, some oven mitts. And we have quite a collection here, which makes me super happy. All right, so this one you talked about. Tell me what this one is made of.
So the front of this looks like it's a tea towel, and I thought this would be a great project if you had maybe an antique or a vintage tea towel that maybe had stains on
Yes.
it. You could preserve like the print, because it's not very big.
No, it's not
Cut it
at
out,
all.
add it to an oven mitt, and it can keep its life using it in your kitchen.
Look at that. Okay, this one uses our Go mushroom die. And I thought the fabric was beautiful.
Yes.
And we're going to talk today about how you can, make gift sets with the towel topper, and then next week we're going to make a Go Big Bowl Cozy.
Yep.
So that's kind of fun. And then what did you think about this one?
I think this one is also a pre-made tea towel that got cut up and made into an oven mitt.
And I feel like maybe they bedazzled it a little.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of cute. We think, okay, Chris, tell everybody what you think. Here, we need to use this one because it looks more like a monster.
I think it would be super fun to add a tongue and some teeth and little googly eyes.
Yes.
I mean, how fun would that be for a kid helping you bake cookies?
Yes. I think that's what we should do, and I think it would be a great gift for kids.
Yes.
Okay, so please, somebody please do that, okay? If you're looking for a free pattern, it's at AccuQuilt.com, and these oven mitts are super cute. They're perfect for gift giving. You made some, yes?
I did,
And what are
yes.
you going to use them for?
They will probably be Christmas gifts.
There you go. And think about mixing it up with the towel topper project that we made last week. Next week, we're going to give you a spoiler alert. We will be back. Well, Chris will be back in Portland, and I will be back for my trip. But we're going to make bowl cozies using the Go Big Bowl Cozy die.
Well, now I'm going to have to make one of those to match.
I know. Yes. Have you made one yet? A
I have
bowl
not.
cozy?
I have the die, but I have not made it yet.
Okay. The great thing about the Go Big Bowl Cozy is that you can just make stacks of them. So we'll talk about it next week. All right, so if you go to the website there and look up the die, you can see a project tutorial that the lovely Erica and I made to help you cut and sew all your pieces for the oven mitt. But guess what? This show, like all of our live events, are recorded. We play them on our website, our YouTube channel, our Facebook page. So feel free to come back and watch, pause, rewind sections to help you with this project.
Yes.
All right, Chris, you want to read our projects list and tell us what we need?
All right, so for today, we're going to need our Go Mini Oven Mitt die. We'll need our fabric for the lining, which in this case, I think we're using this as our lining.
Yes.
Fabric for the outside, and then we have a layer of insulated batting. So this is Insulbright, and then just a layer of cotton batting.
And Insulbright, we're going to show you right here. It's available on the website. It comes in packages like this. Why do you want to use Insulbright?
So you don't burn yourself.
Burn your little pinkies. Yeah. Okay, it just helps keeps things warm and cold.
Yep.
Okay. So, and then just cotton batting, I just used extra, right? I mean, I just used
Just cotton batting, like
yeah,
regular.
just pieces. I didn't.
This is a great use for those leftover scraps of batting.
Yes. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the oven mitt die. Okay. All right, Chris, you want to walk us through all of our pieces?
Sure. So I'm actually going to start in the center because this is the palm of the die. So it's this piece here. And then,
I love that. I've never called it that before. Okay, this is the palm.
yep. And then
Okay.
we have the top and the bottom.
And the hand.
We also have a little rectangle here for the hanging loop.
We do. And it's on a 10 by 24 die board, so what cutters will it go through?
It will fit through the Go and the Go Big.
Okay. So what you want to do is you just want to take your sandwiches, and in your sandwich you're going to have the top fabric and Insulbrite and cotton and then the lining and this little sandwich. And then you just want to stitch it. It
Yep.
doesn't have to be fancy. So Chris, while I stitch this one, tell people why you want to stitch it.
So you want to stitch it to keep all of your layers together. That's very handy for when you're using your mitt. You don't have loose bits all around.
Right. Now, if you wanted to, you'd use painter's tape.
Yep. I
And
use
mark
painter's
it.
tape all the time.
I do too. I'm just going to do it on the line.
Oh yeah, you have lines you can follow.
I am. I'm going to take off my shoes, which is the question of the day. Like, do you take off your shoes when you sew?
At home, I do.
Okay.
Here, no.
Here in the studio's not. Okay, so while I stitch this out, Chris, you want to see if we have questions?
Sure. Let's take a look here.
And Lauren, we invited her into the Dream Studio. She's actually here in the office today. What is happening now? Hold,
It's live,
please.
of course.
Of
something's gonna
course.
Happen.
I sewed on this machine all day yesterday when nobody watched, and now it's making funnies.
Don't see any questions yet, but we do have lots of entries for
Okay,
our.
tell us what people's
cookies.
favorite cookies are.
Catherine likes wedding cookies. I think those
Oh.
are also those Russian tea cakes.
Yes, which I
little
like
balls.
that have nuts in them.
Yes, those are really good.
Yeah.
Nana likes spritz cookies.
Oh,
They're
Erica
fun.
likes those.
Always.
We were talking about how maybe it's just the process of making spritz cookies, because isn't that so fun?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Now here's one. Dottie says Pennsylvania famous sand tarts. I do not know what those are.
Okay,
Do you know what those are?
I've never heard of that.
I need to know more about those.
This is why we love live shows, because Pennsylvania famous, for those of us who live in Oregon and Nebraska, we would like to know what those involve. So tell us, listen, go to Google, put in a recipe and put it in the chat. Then everybody can have the recipe. Okay, what else?
Let's see. Shelly likes orange slice cookies. That sounds good.
Oh, yes.
Patty says peanut butter blossom cookies.
Peanut butter blossoms. Oh, I know what those are. Those are like the peanut butter cup with the kiss in the middle.
Oh yes, I do
Right?
like those.
The peanut butter with a kiss in the middle? Okay. Jill's given us the thumbs up. So I'm going to go with Jill.
All right, we do have a question coming in, and I can answer while you're
Yes,
sewing.
yes, please
so can
do.
you repeat the layers for the mitt again?
Yes, so do this before I start sewing, because I had to clean my...
So we'll start on the outside. This is our outer shell fabric. Yes, and then the Insulbrite. So that's going to be closest to your outer shell. And then just some cotton batting, and then your lining.
Yep.
And layer that all together and give it a few stitches.
Yep, so now that my sewing machine is working again, I will try this one more time. All right, tell us more, Chris.
Okay.
It is so lovely to have you here.
Sugar cookie dough twisted in red and white candy canes with peppermint flavoring. That sounds fun. That was from Roxanne.
Oh, somebody I know does that. They do crushed peppermints on top.
Ooh, I would like that. Let's see. Bernadette says butter cookies. I love anything with butter in it.
Okay, now we have to talk about this for a minute. Do you not remember the tins of Danish butter cookies?
Oh, I get them every year.
Right, but when I was a kid, like my grandma had her sewing stuff in it, right?
Yep. The classic sewing kits.
Yes. Yes, and then I remember I was probably a teenager before I found out that there were actually cookies in that tin.
I love those cookies. I will buy
Yeah,
them
I could
every
eat
Christmas.
the whole tin.
Yep. Let's see. Carol, decorated Christmas sugar cookies. Those seem to be very popular.
I have a really good sugar cookie recipe. I'm
And
gonna
then
make sure this is
Susan.
covering that whole thing. It is.
Susan says decorated gingerbread cookies.
Oh,
Very good
yes.
as well. Very classic.
We so Oakley a couple of years ago came over and we decorated gingerbread cookies. And okay, in my little quilting head, I had a whole different scenario in mind. And Oakley I probably should not tell you this. So she had, I don't know, she was probably 6. And she took and made them look all like they'd just been in a big snowball fight and their hairs were all done and stuff. They were all just a mess. And she goes, these are great. And I said, okay. And she said, they're just been in a snowball fight. And I said, okay, whatever you need. Because
Perfect.
she wanted the most frosting.
Oh, see, she had a motive behind it. Let's see. We want some more cookies?
Yeah, I have one more stitch.
All right. Barbara says sugar cookies and butterball cookies. Those sound delicious.
What is a butterball cookie?
I don't know.
Okay.
And then Lynn says soft ginger and haystacks.
Oh, we love haystacks.
Yes.
I forget about those. And here's the thing. It takes so many of those Chinese noodles to make haystacks.
Oh, yes.
You
yes.
if you want to make haystacks for Christmas, you need to go now.
Right, start stocking
And
up on the chow mein
yeah,
noodles.
Yeah, and buy them. Okay, do one more while I put my shoes on.
All right. Oh, we have a question too.
Oh, good.
How will we be able to watch your class when you're done with filming it? So
How
it is
is
going to
that?
be available on, I believe, AccuQuilt's YouTube channel. So we will definitely make announcements about it and give you some links once that is available.
So Jill of our hearts is here. Do you know more about where they're going to be? Jill's shaking her head no. So we'll let you know more. Okay. Okay, look at how pretty this one is.
You trimmed it after you quilted it.
I
didn't you?
did. Look at this one.
It's all good.
It's okay. It's all good.
This
okay.
is real life.
Yeah. Okay. And here's our tip: do all of your quilting of your sandwiches first.
Yes.
So if you're going to make 10 mini oven mitts,
Just quilt a whole bunch of
quilt
fabric.
a whole bunch. Just turn on TV and watch it. Okay. And you also had 2 good tips about this.
Yes, when you rough cut before you have it quilted, add a little bit of extra beyond what the pattern tells you, because as you quilt, it's going to shrink up a little, and the denser you quilt, the more it will shrink.
Yes. Yes, I learned that. Okay. So we have all of our pieces, and we have this little piece right here. What is this?
That is for the hang tab.
The loop. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to put this there. Chris, you should have, see down there, a 10 by 24 cutting mat. Chris is going to take over the Dream Studio this afternoon. It's going to be awesome. Okay, you want to put it on top?
And
Greg, our cameraman, is going to get you right there. Ooh, and while you're there, Chris, will you turn on the iron?
yes. While the catcher is catching the die, I will turn on the iron.
Yes. There you go. Thank you. And then you can talk about our Go Big Die Catcher while you're standing over there, since you have one and I don't.
I do have one, and I love it. So this is the Go Big Die Catcher, just released yesterday, I want to say.
Just yesterday.
And it's great. It adds some extra real estate to your Go Big, so you can, I like to just keep it here to take my mats off, but it slides right under the back of your Go Big. And in here, you can actually put your power cord. So you can have it plugged in, your power cord sits in here, and then wherever you plug
Yeah,
it
then
in.
you don't have to worry about stepping on your cords.
Yep. And when you have it stored away, your power cord can sit in here, so that when you have this all neatly tucked away, you don't have to worry about your power cord
Yeah.
somewhere in your sewing room.
There you go. And you have kind of a smaller sewing space.
I have a very small sewing space.
Yeah.
Yes. So this has been wonderful.
He's super excited to hang out here in the Dream
I am. It is
Studio.
so much bigger.
He's really excited about that. Okay, now then, we have a ruler and what is that?
Yep.
A pen, right? Okay, so we're gonna give it some love. We're gonna slide, don't lift. Right over there's the next quilt for the quilt along. Okay. Okay, I will take all your pieces. Now, Chris, before we get too far into this, do you want to talk about the tag? I'm going to let you iron this.
Sure. So this is our hang tab. And the trick for this is we're going to fold it in half, wrong sides together, and give it a little press. And then open it back up, and we're going to take those raw edges and fold them to that line that you just pressed.
Without burning your little pinkies.
Yes, don't burn yourself. And then just fold it in half again on that first crease. There you go. Now we're going to sew down both sides just to keep it all firm, and we have our hang tag ready.
Okay, will you turn off my iron for us? I'm going to sew this just right here. Do you just sew down the middle?
I sewed 2 lines just like really close to the edge like this one.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to sew down the middle.
You can sew down the middle too.
Holy
Because you have that folded in all the way,
right,
like you're going to catch
there's no
it.
raw edge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's way easier than trying to like sew down the side and flip it right side out.
Right, right.
Something that small.
Oh
can get
my
really
goodness,
tedious.
yes. Okay. All right, so now we have our pieces. And let's, here, I'm going to move the die, and then I'm going to move all of these, because these are super cute, but
in the way.
in the way. Okay, we cannot lose our tag. All right, so now, Chris, let's walk through the next part of that.
So I think we're going to have this as the outside, right?
Yes, that's the outside.
So the next step, we're actually going to make a mark 3 inches from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Nope, that's got a 1/2 inch on it. Okay, there we go.
And this, remember, this is the palm.
Yes.
I'm forever going to call it that. Erica, did you ever call it the palm? Okay, Erica's here.
And we're going to mark on the back side because you want to see it as you're sewing.
Oh, amen.
So I learned that. My first one I made, I marked it on the front. I'm like, I can't see my marks. So I had
This
to
one's
remark
a
it on the
little
back.
easier because there's
It's right where the
a
straight
straight
end
end.
ends. Yes. So we're just going to make those little marks, and that's going to help us when we're sewing because that's where we're going to start and stop.
Okay,
Wonderful.
okay. And then we want to put these sides together. Oh, gosh,
So we're going to start with the
Chris.
palm, and then this, I guess you can call it
I
the
don't know how I
thumb.
was going to do this if you weren't here. Actually, I do. I would know. Okay, but I'm going to bindy clip.
Yep.
Hey, I did learn, did you know this? That right here in the binding clip, it has like 1/4 inch hash marks on them.
Well, looky there.
Oh, look at me teaching Chris some stuff.
Did you know that you should have the clear side down? Because then when you're at your machine, you can just
Yeah.
push and slide. You'll see me at my machine with like pile of them because I just like slide them off as I'm going.
Pearl, my cat, just likes to knock them off the sewing table.
Fun little.
So naughty. She is so naughty. So I'm going to use binding clips instead of pins because there's a lot of bulk.
Yes.
It's like your first jeans of the summer. There's a lot of bulk to put in there. Okay, here we go.
And then we're going to stitch just from this line up around the curve and end at the other line,
Okay.
which is kind of hard to see on there.
It's okay. I can wing it.
Okay.
And are we doing a 1/4 inch seam? What are we
1/4
doing?
inch seam, yes.
Okay.
Let's see if we have any questions while you're sewing.
Okay.
Can you do any of the quilting on the layers, or is it best to just use straight lines? You can absolutely do like fancier quilting on the layers.
here, somebody
one
did
with the
fancy.
mushroom has it.
Yes, look at
Yeah,
that.
this one has some fancier quilting on it. You can kind of see that. I think they did the quilting before they put the mushrooms on.
Yes. Oh, we should talk about that. About appliquing before, after, right? So
Well, you can
should-
do either,
Okay,
but
well,
you want to do it before you make the mitt.
right, that's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
Okay, yes. Definitely
Yes.
want to add it on there before you make the mitt.
So I would tell you to, I guess I would do the quilting first and then do like a stitch around it.
Yeah. It depends on the look you're going for. If you're doing simple quilting, you can do the applique first and quilt right through it.
Okay.
All right, let's see other questions.
That was a good question, by the way.
Can you use layer cakes for this die, seeing it has so many different fabrics? So none of the pieces are larger than 10 inches, so you could absolutely use the layer cake for it. I think the largest piece it says to cut to 9 3/4, so it might be a little close after you quilt it, but you should be fine.
And do not always think of Harry Potter at 9 3/4. Just okay. Okay, what you want to do, now look, I caught the little edge there, but it's okay. What you want to make sure is that all the layers
Are
are
caught.
caught.
Yes.
Okay,
All right, now we're gonna actually flip that up, and I like to put a bindy clip on it just to keep it out of the way.
I do too.
And now we'll take our top piece.
How does this not look straight? Did I do that? I came to here.
Oh, I think like one stitch is fine.
Okay, thanks. When it's all sewn together, no one will know that
Right.
I missed one little stitch there. Okay, there you go.
Okay, now we're going to take the top piece and sew just from that line to that line.
Right, and you don't want to go farther because,
Because then you're going to not be able to turn it right side out.
right, ask Chris how he knows that. Okay, so again, I'm going to use binding clips. I'm going to make sure I get all of my layers. Okay, do we have questions? Don't forget and tell us about
do.
cookies.
Yes. Someone asked what size is the mat. So this is a 10 by 24 inch die, and it uses a 10 by 24 inch mat. Mm-hmm. And how many layers can the Go Me cut? Will it handle this with insulator and batting? So this die won't fit in the Go Me.
Right.
And the layers are not determined by the machine, but actually by the die themselves. So any of the Go dies can cut up to 6 layers of quilting cotton. Mm-hmm. Once we've added in our batting, that makes it a little bulkier. So I prefer only to cut one at a time.
I just cut one at a time, yeah. Okay, so look, we marked it here. I'm going to start here, see, and then our little, we can turn it inside out. Okay, all right. And what I found, Chris, was there were lots of layers there, and I kind of had to lift up my little presser
Yeah.
foot a little.
The back of your foot is going to be over, what is that? One,
Yeah.
two, three, 4 layers of 4 layers. So
Right.
16 layers, that's quite a bit.
Yeah,
Let's see.
be patient.
Let's look at some cookies here.
Oh, let's do. And I really feel like I failed this because I didn't bring cookies.
Bonnie says bird's nest cookies with maraschino cherries in the center. That
What the heck
sounds
is a
good.
bird's nest?
I wonder if
cookie?
it's like a haystack, just like in a circle with the cherry on top.
Oh, gosh, that sounds lovely. And maybe white chocolate?
Oh yeah, instead of butterscotch. Mm-hmm. Judy says homemade snickerdoodle cookies. Snickerdoodles are good.
Forgot about snickerdoodles.
Ooh, Linda loves shortbread.
Oh, and I forgot about shortbread.
I always forget about shortbread, and they're so easy to make.
They are butter, sugar, and flour.
Yeah.
What is wrong? How easy is that? Okay, so do I need to go down here some more? I feel like I do.
You could, yeah.
Okay,
Just a few stitches.
So I want to talk about that because of the bulk, it was hard to start there. So I'm actually going to start with my needle here and
And
come
work the other way?
and work the other way. Because you just want to make sure that it's all staying together. Okay.
Oh, here's a good cookie. Jane C says chocolate crinkle with a peppermint kiss on top.
Oh my gosh. Listen, we need to have a cookie exchange in the winter, and all of you just need to send me cookies. We're not going to exchange them. You're just going to send them to me. Okay. We cannot lose this.
No, do not lose the little loop.
Okay, see, that's better.
Well, now we're going to use the little loop so we won't lose it.
We are. Okay.
All right, so we are going to flip it over. This is what your finished oven mitt is basically going to look like.
But, oh, wait, I did that. I have a cheat.
Oh, yes.
So what I did was, because I wasn't sure this was really going to work, so I just took some fabric and ran an X through the center so that they could do that. And that way, when I was sewing my pieces together, I knew how it worked.
Right.
So it's kind of a little mock-up. I should totally make.
You can make like a little hand puppet for a grandkid.
Yeah. Aries would love it. Okay. So that's just kind of a little tip. Okay, you ready?
Yep. So now we're going to take our hang tag, fold it in half, and we're just going to put it on this side.
Okay.
And I like to put a binding clip so that it doesn't wander away on me from here to the sewing machine.
Yes.
And now, one of my pro tips.
Okay. Oh, tell me. Am I
When
doing
we-
this wrong?
No. When we sew up the side, only sew to that where you started stitching.
Yes.
You don't want to sew beyond it, because if you tack that seam allowance down, you won't be able to turn it right side out.
Ask Chris how he knows that.
I did it.
Very
and it
first
did not work.
Very
And we're
first
going to leave the
one.
other side open for now.
Yes, I'm gonna clip it. I like mighty clips.
Yes.
Okay, so Chris is gonna teach us something super cool. Okay, so I'm gonna start right here where the seam is, and I'm just gonna backstitch, and then I'm gonna do here. Okay?
Yes. Oh, and speaking of backstitching, I highly recommend it on all of the seams for this. It's not something we usually do as quilters, but since we're going to be flipping stuff right side out, those back stitches are pretty important.
And because again, there's a lot of bulk here, I'm gonna sew this on this side.
Oh, that is smart.
Sometimes I know stuff, Chris. Not every day, just sometimes. Okay. And boy, howdy, be sure and share all your finished oven mitts with us.
Yes, they are
We wanna
so
see 'em.
quick to make. Like, you'll have a dozen before you know it.
And I also, when I go over that little loop, I backstitch.
Give it a little reinforcement.
Little reinforcement. It's out there by itself. Okay, and then I'm gonna backstitch here. I did not go past
Perfect.
the thing.
All right.
Okay, let's see if it worked. Before we go on. This is live, Chris. We have to make sure things work before we...
So I won't turn it all the way out, but yes, it worked.
Okay. And I always like to make sure that, you know, so I take my little hand and I'm gonna run it through here to make sure my fingers don't poke out anywhere,
Oh, that's smart.
and come right here and they don't poke out. Okay, now, during rehearsal, we had this little conversation about the binding because Chris doesn't have a machine. So our machine is our fun faff, and this slides out.
The free arm, yep.
But you do not have such an animal.
No.
So I am going to switch sides with you, and you're going to talk us through the binding part.
Yes. So
I feel taller on this side.
in the instructions, it has you finish your last seam and then
Yeah, right here in the middle.
bind as desired.
Yep.
But to make it a little easier, because once you've sewn it, like you have a really small, tight space that you have to bind.
Yes.
So one way to make it a little easier, especially when you're making these in bulk for holiday gifts.
Or for like craft fairs.
Oh, yes, yes.
Right?
You
Are
can
those
totally
big
make these
in
for craft
Portland?
fairs. They are, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we're going to take our binding before we sew up that last seam, and we're going to bind this. So we're just going to sew it to the outside
He's
shell.
gonna do it without any bindy clips or pins or anything. Hey, look, I can do this. Oh, maybe. Oh, let's see. Tammy says her favorite Christmas cookies are her grandmother's peanut butter balls. And, oh, Debbie, I've seen these. Every year she makes a chocolate cookie that looks like, that has Rolos stuffed in the middle. Have you ever had
Ooh,
those?
that sounds good.
So good. And she says if she doesn't make them for everyone, they yell at her to get them done. Debbie, tell them, stop yelling, you're sending them all to Pam.
Hey Pam, while Chris is sewing, can you talk about the measurements, the dimensions of the die catcher for somebody, please?
Sure, we can do that.
Have a ruler and
I can do that. Erica's here. She's here because we're going to talk about the next quilt along. She's here because Chris is going to make some videos after I leave, and she's going to help him. She's going to be the lovely assistant. Okay, so it measures white to white 15 inches, and it measures white to white 13 and a half. Did that help? I hope so. Okay, and there's what it looks like inside. Super lightweight.
It is, yes.
The Gibney did good on this.
Yes.
Okay, even though she gave mine away. And I don't have one, but that's okay. Okay, talk about what you just did here, Chris.
All right, so we sewed this is the outside of the oven mitt. And now we are going to flip it around.
Do you want me to press that?
I'm okay without
Okay,
pressing.
Chris is...
I kind of wing it with binding.
Chris and I bind in a completely different fashion here, okay?
I'm going to trim off this excess first.
Okay.
But doing it this way, you have just a straight line, even though it is tacked down here,
This is so brilliant.
rather than trying to do it all the way around.
So when Eric and I made the video, we did it all the way around. And we were both talking about how hard that was. Okay, but look, Chris is just winging it. I love that. Look at that.
If this were a quilt, I would definitely press it back, but
It's an oven mitt.
it's just an oven mitt. And as long as you catch it on the backside, you will be fine.
See, I would have used bindy clips only, you know, as the name, bindy
Right.
clips. Just saying. Okay, I'm going to read cookies. Dambra makes toffee bars.
Ooh.
Gosh, pecan balls and ginger snaps. We make ginger snaps in the fall.
Oh, really?
We like ginger snaps at our house. And okay, this will make you laugh. Mary Ann makes cream bourbon balls.
Ooh.
She learned to make them when she was stationed in Kentucky. I bet you did. I bet Anita knows. Did you meet Anita?
I have not met Anita yet.
Oh, Anita's fabulous. She lives in Kentucky. She could make bourbon balls. Okay, so look at how fast that was.
So we've got the binding on, and now we are going to sew this side shut.
Go for it. I have my shoes on, so go for it. So they are just, you know, little flippy flops.
We're sewing just up to that line only.
Yeah, don't sew past it, because then you'll have bad things happen.
Did you know this is a thread cutter?
I did. Thank you.
And now, just gonna trim off that excess, and we can turn. You want to turn right side out?
Oh, no, you've done all the hard lifting. I'm just going to sit here and clap for you. We have a ta-da button, Jill.
And then we just turn it all right side out.
Look at how cute this is. There's the palm.
The palm.
The palm. Oh, good job, Mr. Chris. Okay, first of all, thank you for teaching us that binding trick, because forevermore, that's how I will bind them. Okay, and don't forget our show is recorded, so you don't call it. You can watch it back and do all of that and see all the things. Okay, don't forget they're great for hostess gifts, bridal showers. They're great for craft fairs if you're a crafter, okay? You can make a baker's dozen in no time. Do you like that little pun there?
Yes.
Okay, now, before Erica comes on set, I'm gonna give you a plug.
Okay.
Okay, so a couple of things you should know about Chris. He is from Rose City Originals. He lives in Portland, but he's here with us. But you are what we call an AccuQuilt guru,
Yes.
right?
A Go Guru.
So what does that mean?
So that is more for quilt shop owners. I can travel around to teach AccuQuilt classes at your quilt shop.
So quilters, if you have a local quilt shop that sells AccuQuilt product and they would like to bring Chris in to teach some classes, would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely.
See? He could teach so many fun things.
Yes, I know lots and lots of fun tricks that I've learned
He
from
does.
Pam.
He does. Okay. Okay, Erica's coming, so we have to switch back. No, stay right here
Why
with
not?
us.
You want me to hold up the quilt?
No, he's
Stand
gonna
right
be
here.
our Vanna.
He is, but you come right here,
Okay.
Erica. We're gonna all
Wait,
get on
I
the
forgot
set.
to bring my quilt blocks with me.
Okay, go get them.
That's okay. They're right here.
Okay, Erica's gonna get them.
All right. So are we gonna say it together, or are we gonna?
Well,
say
we're
it?
going to have Chris hold it up, and then
have
we're going to
Chris-
talk about it.
Okay.
So starting August 7th, this is our next AccuQuilt AccuQuilt-along. It goes for 5 weeks, because look at this.
Look. Ta-da!
Yay! This is the Going Carolina in My Mind by the amazing Laura Strickland.
Yes, and she is Orange Blossom Quilts.
Yes, and it uses which die, Erica?
It uses the North Carolina Star.
Which is one of our favorite dies.
It is, but it also uses the Go 5-inch cube, and that's one of the really cool things about this pattern, is how it uses elements
gonna
of the
And then you can stand by Erica.
North Carolina Star along with the cube blocks. So
Give that one to Chris. to
give this
hold.
one to Chris to hold. Here's the North Carolina Star. You like that one?
I do.
I'll hold this one. So here's a look at some of those blocks. So those center elements, these center internal sashing elements, those are coming out of the North Carolina Star block. We're combining them with some mix and match blocks. It's going to be so much fun.
And now, Chris, you love these colors, didn't you?
I do.
This is perfect for fat quarters. And Erica posted on the AQS Project Parade Facebook page some of our fabric.
Yes.
So it's a great scrap buster. We used yardage because for the first time ever, Erica and I are making the same quilt.
Probably the first and last.
The same
Probably so.
fabrics?
Chris Elin gasped.
I know.
Wow.
There was an audible
we
gas.
We may bind with different fabrics because
So you
we
can tell them
Oh my gosh,
haven't
for
decided.
sure.
So we're going to have to pick different bindings.
But Erica and I, it was important because the amazing Laura Strickland wrote this fabulous pattern. And then Erica has written some additional reference sheets of, you know, how many pieces out of which color. And we're going to talk about it on August 5th on how to cut your pieces and organize and so
Right.
forth. But we loved this project and we thought, okay, we've done some beginner projects.
Right.
We've done some intermediate projects.
Right.
This was going to be a challenge.
Right. So here's what you need to do, quilters. You want to go ahead. Of course, we've given you a glimpse here, and we've told you what the basics are. Go ahead and check out the AccuQuilt and or the AQS blog posts today. Those are going to have the details for you, but they are also going to have some traditional rotary cutting directions and templates in case you don't have some of the dies. But I am here to tell you that by the time you are done, you are going to really want this die because the North Carolina Star is one of our absolutely most versatile, I think, block on board dies. Don't you guys?
Do you have this die?
I don't think so. I'll
might
have to
have to
check
put
my
it on
inventory.
this.
Yeah.
We'll have to work on that because we want Chris to join us. So this is a 5-week quilt along because we're going to show you how to cut and store your pieces, and then we're going to talk
Right.
about each of the different blocks and
Right,
how
we're
you
going to
make
put
it.
each of the different blocks together.
Yeah.
We've got a wide variety of things going on. We've got great sashing, fun borders. This is going to be a great quilt along,
That'd
everybody.
be fabulous. All right. Anything else?
That is all.
Chris, anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, first of all, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me. This was super fun.
Erica should take you to Missouri. I'm just saying. No pressure there.
We'll see how tired we are after we film
you
all
make
our
videos.
classes.
Good deal. All right, so Chris is going to announce the winner of our Go Mini Oven Mitt die. Chris, go ahead.
All right, drum roll, please. Today's winner is Kathy L. from Wales, Michigan.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Kathy, I already sent you an email that says, hey, send me your information. I'll send you the die. Quilters, we have tons of great deals available for you on our website, including this month's die to try, the Go Flying Fish die.
We have a block?
We have a block, and at home I have a finished quilt top that I'm going to bring next week.
Fabulous.
It is fabulous. It is a block and board. Don't forget also the new Go Towel Topper, the Go Oven Mitt dies, and the Go Big Die Catcher, all available on our website. To get your order in, open a tab in your browser, type in AccuQuilt.com, go to the site, see the offer, and place your orders. On behalf of our team out, who's helping us besides Lauren? Lauren and Courtney, probably.
Lauren and
Caitlin.
Courtney and
Lauren
Caitlin.
and Caitlin, thanks for helping us. Here in the Dream Studio, we have Jill and Kenyon and Greg, and of course the amazing Chris and the lovely Erica. I'm Pam Heller from AccuQuilt. We'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching. To learn more about your quilting craft, be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday. You can check out the events page on the AccuQuilt website for more details on upcoming shows. And if you're looking for even more inspiration, visit our blog for exclusive tutorials filled with tips and tricks. And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more.
Join us on Tuesday, August 6th at 12 noon Central Time as we launch the August Die to Try. I hope to see you there. And then be sure to join us for next week's AccuQuilt Live. Chris and I are going to make some Go Big Bowl cozies. See you then.